Hello, thanks for stopping by StampsToDieFor.com. My name is Patsy Waggoner and I'm excited to share with you today another technique how-to. Hope you enjoy it! Let's get started with this week's technique of the split negative. We're going to show you how to make this two-tone using embossing inks and some embossing powder. First, I am going to use this stamping and piercing mat made by Stampin' Up. You can see this side I use for piercing, this side I use for stamping. And the cool part about this is it provides a really even pressure and ink coverage as you stamp, especially with more detailed stamps or larger stamps. I'm just putting a little teeny bit of snail adhesive on there just to hold these in place. You want 2 pieces of cardstock, different colors, and you want them the same size, but you don't want to adhere them together yet. And I'm taking from the World Treasure stamp set the Peacock. Oh, before I forget, because I usually forget this, I'm going to take our little embossing buddy. And this has a powder in it, so it helps so that the black ink and the white powder doesn't, or the black powder and white powder don't stick where you don't want them. That's usually the step I forget. And with black and white, it's almost essential that you use the embossing buddy. Now I'm going to ink up this stamp. Versamark stamps are a little bit sticky, so sometimes with these clear mount stamps you end up with them coming off, so I kind of roll the stamp on there. And now I'm going to stamp this image right in the center of our 2 pieces of cardstock. Now that embossing buddy will shake off a little bit later. I'm going to just move this to the side. I'm going to get my white ink. We're just going to put a little piece of paper there to catch the extra ink. We're going to pour our powder on. Now embossing is something that really impresses people the first time they see it, and I think there isn't anybody alive that still doesn't get excited when you emboss something. I'm going to take the Stampin' Up! Heat. That's how you can tell when it's starting to get done, is you can see the sheen of the embossing powder. Like that. I'm going to pour our black powder on here. Now you can use different colors if you like, but for us I'm going to show you in the black and white. You want to always make sure your container of embossing powder isn't in the way when you're heating, or you can eat up the whole container. Now the black one, it's a little bit easier to see when it starts to get shiny, more so than the white. It's just like magic. People love to see that. Usually what I do is take a little piece of tissue and just wipe the extra embossing buddy powder off of the image. On the white you can't really see it, but on the black you can more, so I'm going to wipe that off. And now I have this I'm going to mount our pieces to. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch. Sometimes after you're done mounting it, you can trim the edges if it isn't just right. So I'm going to just stick this on top of there, and then we're going to mount that on top of a basic black mat, and that's 4 by 5 1/4. Now don't worry, all these measurements are listed on the tutorial page that's on my blog, so you can hop over there And now I have a piece of Calypso coral that's 4¼ by 11. We're going to just mount this on there like this. And remember, the trick for snail to stick good is to burnish, burnish. We're going to add a little piece of, this is kind of a paper ribbon. Sometimes it's nice to use something like this. It goes through the mail really easily. Just going to trim that edge off. Okay, now I'm going to just color in, this is called omitting, and I'm just going to color part of the words black. I don't want this scrolly design or the frame around the stamp, but I did want the words. So this is another option for using your stamp a little differently than just inking the entire stamp. You can just pick out the part that you want and color it with your marker. I'm using the brush tip of the marker and like that. And if you live in a dry climate, you might want to huff it. And there you can see we just got the words versus this whole frame around there. Now I'm going to take our 1 3/8 inch punch, and I'm just going to punch the words out like this. And I need a dimensional. I'm going to put that on the back side. You can see I'm using the piece I boo-booed on. I'm going to just add this right there. And I've pre-punched a little Calypso coral flower out of the boho blossom. I'm going to just put that on the bottom with these bright glimmer brads. They're really fun and shiny, and always just add a little pop. I'd appreciate it if you stop over at my blog and tell me how you're enjoying the technique how-to videos. This is week 43, so we only have 9 more weeks of techniques. But let me know what you think, and everybody that leaves a comment, I'll be doing a drawing on the 12th of January to see who's the lucky winner of this card. Be sure and hop over to my blog at www.stampstodiefor.com. Pick up this week's tutorial, free tutorial, and also you can pick up the supplies and measurements. Hope to see you there. Happy stamping!